with 3 examples from legal decisions on employment discrimination areas. There's a case of Dufresne versus Dufresne and Sabina, as my law colleagues have been telling me to say and, which was very simply a case where Gabrielle Dufresne was air hostess for Sabina Belgian Airlines and had to retire at the age of 40. She took the case to court, and it went on for about nearly 25 years before they came out with a decision in the European Court of Justice that this was unfair discrimination against the principles of Article 119 of the Treaty of Rome, which specifies equality for men and women. And in their summing up, the judges said that they were making it on the esprit de loi, the spirit of the law, not just the letter of the law and how this should be interpreted. This is a very important case in determining indirect discrimination, because she had to retire at 40, whereas male stewards could stay on for longer and therefore get better in pension entitlements than the female air hostesses. That was a very important legal case. There are many, but the second one I want to look at is the case of Wilke Kaufhaus and Karin von Weber von Haas. And this is very interesting, because when I was doing some interviews a long time ago, companies had mentioned this decision that had been made, because what the decision was is that it was indirect discrimination, because the employees of this large shop in Germany didn't have the same pension rights as the male workers, all the part-timers, and all the part-timers obviously were women. So this case was taken to the European Court of Justice, and they argued that there was indirect discrimination because part-timers were predominantly women, therefore it was a sex discrimination case. Now, a lot of firms in the UK reacted to that decision by changing their rights and benefits and giving a lot of women rights to pension entitlement, part-time workers in the late 80s, because they didn't want to go to Strasbourg. All the publicity and the cost of it. It's easier to anticipate how to react to that. Now, the last example I want to show you, and I'm going to, take a little bit of time, is a third case that my friend Annika Strom brought to my attention when we watched a film earlier this summer called North County. And this is a case of sexual harassment. And what's very interesting about this case is how it moves sexual harassment decisions as moving away from nuts and sluts as individuals who are crazy or deserved it to class action. And this is an American concept. But the importance of the concept, it said, instead of individual women complaining about sexual harassment at work, a group of workers could be identified as having been subject to unfair treatment. And this made a major change in American employment law and had quite big consequences for it. And because not everybody finds law that exciting, I thought I'd like to show you the trailer for the film, because the film, I think, very briefly illustrates some of the issues about the micro, macro, and meso level of that I talked about in the analytical framework. So if you'll allow me to take the liberty of doing this. Some bits of this are not that pleasant.
So I'm back living with my folks. Only now I got 2 more mouths to feed.
The mine's hiring, you know. Would you like to make the same kind of money your dad does?
Mine pays 6 times what I'm making now.
You want to be a lesbian now?
I want to be a lesbian.
Okay, now where are you? A cowboy or a cowgirl?
I'm a cowgirl.
No, not up there, you're not.
You must be next on it. Doc says you look darn good under those clothes. Sense of humor, ladies. Rulo numero uno.
They know things have been hard. They're going to change.
Knew you were gonna cry.
Find your mouth.
Meet Buddy Sir. He runs the powder room with a short one body.
And we want a nice body. We're fatties.
You're taking jobs where there aren't any to take. These boys aren't your friends.
I think we should go to Pearson and tell what's going on. This is our lives are screwing with.
Exchange has a problem, and we're going to solve it.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
We're willing to allow you to tender your resignation effective immediately.
They work damn hard every day, same as you.
No, you're the same as me.
No, there's a few differences. You don't go to work scared of what they're going to write about you on the walls, or what kind of disgusting thing you might find in your locker.
Keep your mouth shut. We take it like a man.
He attacked me. But you lay hand on her?
Answer's no.
And what if the mine accompany all of us?
You can't win. None of those women will take your side.
Whether you win or lose, you stand up.
Some things are for men, and some things are for women.
If she wins, this will affect every company in America.
What are you supposed to do when the ones with all the power are hurting those with nothing? You stand up for your friends. You stand up and tell the truth.
I give a name. Watch 1-year-old get treated that way.
She's still my daughter.
Didn't she?
I don't want to shut down the mine. I just want to go to work like everyone else.
And that's quite a powerful film, and I really recommend watching it. And it's something that very much illustrates the difference of the different levels of how people are willing to try and bring about change or not, or how they react or not. And in that case, the mine actually employed some women lawyers because they particularly wanted to show it was a kind of a women versus women type of thing, and they were unsuccessful. Okay, that's nearly the end of it. Basically, the three concepts I talked about is recognition, representation, and reward. It's about things about equal pay as well as other issues. It's about women, the trouble they cause conceptually, empirically, and in terms of politics. Future troubles and pleasures. Not all that bad. Right. I would just like to draw attention to some of the things we're going to be doing in the business school in the next year or so. We recently won a seminar series from the ESRC to look at issues around fairness at work that we'll be doing with Manchester University and Business School, Leeds Business School, and the Institute for Employment Studies here in Brighton. A series of six seminars around a range of issues on this topic of what fairness at work is, and looking at some writers, for example, who talk about dignity at work from the States. But that's on the topic, so keep your eyes peeled. Secondly, we have a new research contract to do a European project looking at labour market transitions for older and younger workers and those with families, and what kind of labour market transitions they do across Europe. And also part of that will be a small film project working with the Family and Parenting Institute in London, looking at issues around work and care and how do we present research in small bite-sized digestible units and talk about some of the issues we talked about tonight. Then I've got the grant to work on my book that Julia mentioned. Very lastly, and this is where I will be quiet, the Work Employment Society conference we're going to be holding here in Brighton next September, looking at the issue of managing uncertainty, the New Deal, looking at what's happening in the US under Obama, looking at the BRIC countries, which is Brazil, Russia, India and China, what are the consequences of structural change in those economies where there's low welfare states but rapid economic growth, and is the future flexible for Europe? There's also, for attention, a postgraduate workshop on the 6th of September. Now, I am sorry, I've gone over about a few minutes, but thank you very much. There's a mailing list if you'd like to join it, and we can keep you informed of future research that we're doing. Thank you very much. Sorry to take